Everybody is speaking out on this. The New York Knicks have found a way to become a much better basketball team with a much more efficient offense and defense if head coach Tom Thibodeau decides to make what would be a very tough decision for the New York Knicks. But history has proved it has worked out, and we are going to break down what this is and a bunch more of the implications it has. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're enjoying the content and are part of that 68% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, this is the place to be for all Knicks content. We have multiple videos every day on multiple different topics you guys don't want to miss out. And also, we are now on Spotify, which I'm super excited to announce. And guys, if you like to watch Knicks Digest, but you want to drive to work or something and you want to listen to it there, Spotify is the answer for this. So then you don't have to look at the graphics and end up in a fiery explosion, which we do not want for you guys, believe it or not. But let's jump into the video because we have a lot to discuss. This man right here needs to start. I'm going to be honest. It's very obvious that Deuce McBride has to be a starter on the New York Knicks. There is a very clear way for the Knicks to be a better team. Now, I understand the New York Knicks lost with Deuce McBride as a starter against the Los Angeles Clippers, and then they won against the Sacramento Kings. So it's not like they're going out and they're beating great teams with Deuce putting up 30 points per game or something. But Deuce McBride needs to start, as the New York Knicks are a much better free-flowing team when he's on the floor. And we are going to jump into a lot of this because, guys, we look at Deuce McBride against the Sacramento Kings. The man balled out. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, plus 33. But it's not just about how the Knicks beat the Sacramento Kings last night. Frankly, that's one game, and I don't really care. I don't think the Kings are very good, and they're not a good defensive team, so it's not like this is the only reason. All season long, Deuce McBride has been the answer to the Knicks' spacing problems. Let's be honest. Something that's been really annoying for the New York Knicks is they wanted a 5-out lineup, and they've never had that because of one specific reason. Josh Hart's been hesitant to shoot the ball, and Mikal Bridges has been inconsistent at shooting. Now, Bridges' inconsistencies can go away. The Knicks just need to have that 5-out system, and it'll help a lot, because then Mikal could also find ways to create his own dribble, work in the mid-range where he likes to work it, still 5-out at the end of the day, which does work very, very well. And I'm not trying to badmouth Josh Hart. He just has to be more confident in shooting the ball. And obviously, as we saw, PJ Tucker yelled at him to shoot the ball. We will do a video on PJ Tucker's impact on the team, but it's only been one game, and we want to have like 2-3 games in there to watch what PJ Tucker's doing on the sidelines, giving that championship DNA right into this team, because we've already seen there's been an instant change by Tucker. But again, that's a conversation for a different day or just a later video, so stay tuned for that as well. But guys, talking about Josh Hart, talk about Mikal Bridges, they're very solid players. They've been huge parts of this team, and though Mikal gets a bad rep from Knicks fans because of the price that the Knicks paid for Mikal, he has been a solid player for them. His defense is good, his offense is good. There's just some inconsistencies in his game, which has been the case for Mikal Bridges for his entire career, and I don't understand why now people are just picking up on it, but that's beside the point. Josh Hart, he's a very, very great player for the Knicks. He's been the third best player on the team this season. The one weakness is that he's hesitant to shoot the 3-ball because he's not the best shooter, but he has to just be more confident. Now, we did see Josh Hart shoot the ball quite well last night against the Sacramento Kings, so there is that to go over. I mean, with Deuce out there, the Knicks, and again, this was without Jalen Brunson, but with Deuce out there, Josh Hart shot the ball with confidence, and that's because PJ Tucker was screaming at him to shoot the ball. But on top of that, the whole Knicks team shot well from 3. I mean, Mikal went 1 for 3, but still had a good game and all that stuff. But Deuce McBride was able to become this engine that the Knicks were missing without Jalen Brunson. And it's clear that Deuce needs to be a starter because that's when he plays his best basketball. And that's when the Knicks have played their best basketball, with Deuce McBride on the floor, both with and without Jalen Brunson. Now, Deuce, he's started 3 games this season, and he's put up 17 points per game in those, playing 36 minutes tonight, also getting 5.3 assists and nearly 4 rebounds per game as well, while shooting 42% from 3. His 3-point percentage is up, his points per game is up, all his numbers across the board are better when Deuce McBride is starting. It doesn't matter if he's starting at the 1 or the 2. When Deuce starts, the Knicks are better, and Deuce himself is better. Now, Deuce on the season is putting up 9 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists, while shooting 41% from the field and 37% from 3, with 37.5% on corner threes. He's also getting nearly a steal per game off the bench. Deuce has been very great for the Knicks. It's no secret. Everyone knows that Deuce has been great, but he's just such a player that fits in perfectly with this Knicks team, and he solves so much of their problems. He's the key to unlocking this 5-out offense, is you put Deuce McBride in the game more, specifically with Jalen Brunson once Brunson returns. But even Either way, still, having Deuce McBride out there truly does have a massive impact on the Knicks. I mean, Josh Hart's great, don't get me wrong. 14.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 54% from the field, 33% from three. It's a very, very good. He's just great. Josh Hart's been, as I said, he's been the third best player on this team. Mikal Bridges has been good. He's putting up 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, getting a steal per game, also shooting 49% from the field and 35% from three, shooting 43% on corner threes. Mikal as well has been good. The Knicks' one issue is there has been a lack of 5-out play, and Deuce McBride coming in for Josh Hart early in the game or starting over Josh Hart does solve that problem. I even said going into the season, I thought Deuce was going to start over Josh Hart just for the purpose of shooting. Obviously, that didn't happen, and Josh Hart's been phenomenal this year, so it's worked out. But still, once Jalen Brunson is back, the Knicks need to experiment with having Deuce out there instead of Josh Hart so they could have that 5-out lineup. It's not like the defense is going to get worse. You still have Deuce out there, and Deuce fights for rebounds. I mean, the man's 6'2", 6'3", pulling down nearly 3-4 rebounds a night when he starts. It's a very, very good sign that Deuce McBride is just playing bigger than his size like Josh Hart, which Deuce does do. So there's a lot to like about the way that Deuce is playing basketball, and the Knicks just have to try a lineup of Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns. There's just no reason why they shouldn't. There's nothing that screams the Knicks should not do this at this point. It just makes no sense to me, honestly, because it's clearly something that's worked. It's worked with and without Jalen Brunson, as I mentioned. I mean, just taking a look at things, like, here's what Hot Hand Theory put out. Jalen Brunson, 547 minutes. Now, this was a few days ago, so the minutes are a little bit different now. But Jalen Brunson, 547 minutes, 58.1% of effective field goal, 45% from three-point range, and 69% at the rim. Jalen Brunson, B, 1,356 minutes. Effective field goal percentage drops. Three-point percentage goes to 36.4%. Rim percentage goes to 60.9%. The difference is that A has Deuce McBride out there. That is what it is. I'm telling you. I'm not like just saying like this is my belief. No, this is literally what it is. It's that Deuce McBride's out there. And Deuce being out there makes Jalen Brunson a much better player because he's usually subbing in for Josh Hart. When you have this 5-out lineup, Jalen Brunson shoots 45% from three and is shooting 69% at the rim because there's no help defense. Brunson's getting these one-on-ones, and he scores so well in the one-on-one, as we all know, that it just leads to his best basketball being played. Karl-Anthony Towns gets more opportunities to have one-on-ones at the rim. Mikal Bridges has more opportunities to work that mid-range game, being one of the best mid-range scorers in basketball. He also will get more corner threes out of this because the Knicks have this 5-out, and teams are going to be less focused on Mikal Bridges, who gets to find his way to those corners running the baseline, and it's going to work out well for him, especially because if he's running the baseline, he could also pop off and get to the mid-range and find the elbow and hit those shots. I mean, Mikal Bridges is lethal in the mid-range. He's lethal in the corners, and having a 5-out system gives him an easier chance to get there. So it's not just about Jalen Brunson. It's not just about Deuce McBride. It's that when Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride are out here, everybody plays better. Tom Thibodeau's offense runs better. There's more offense being ran that's not just pure iso ball. And when it has to be pure iso ball, Jalen Brunson makes it work. And so much of this is because of how good Deuce McBride has been this season. And people are not seemingly realizing that. And look, Deuce is just... he clearly has to be out there. I mean, this was last season, mind you, but Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride last year as a two-man combo in 270 minutes had a 130.37 offensive rating and a 112.9 defensive rating, which is a net rating of plus 1828, which is unreal. The Knicks are just better when they have a Brunson-McBride backcourt, and it's for a pretty simple reason when you think about all of it. Deuce McBride, I don't want to pigeonhole him into this because when you say this, it feels like you're saying this is all this guy can do. Deuce McBride is a perfect 3-and-D role player next to Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns. He's just the perfect fit. Yes, he's amazing at defense. Yes, he's a very good shooter. I'm not saying those are the only things he could do. When you say 3-and-D, a lot of times people think of like a Danny Green, who's pretty much pure, will hit a spot up three, can hit one like a little off the dribble pump fake, move to the side, hit that. Excellent defense as well. Deuce does more. His shot creation is good. His rebounding is good. His movement is very good. He's more than a 3-and-D player, but he's also excellent at three-point shooting and really, really excellent at defense. And because of that, He's the perfect fit next to Jalen Brunson. The Knicks have to start using this, especially against the team that you're going to have to get into shootouts with. Let's say the Knicks do fall to the 4th seed. Let's say they do. It's possible. They could. It's not like Brunson's going to be back tomorrow. So let's say they fall to the 4th seed. They have to play the Pacers. There's a world where you want to go 5 out against the Indiana Pacers when you have Deuce out there, because Deuce or Mikal can guard Tyrese Halliburton. You'd have OG guard Pascal Siakam. That's why I didn't mention OG right there. And I think Deuce is a perfect guy to guard Halliburton because he's just all over everyone and he's really ferocious and he's one of those annoying defenders. So I think Deuce is perfect there. You get to put, you get to put Mikal Bridges in help, and then you get to hide Jalen Brunson the best you can. And Karl-Anthony Towns just has to guard Miles Turner, who's sitting out on the perimeter anyway, which is where Towns is happier. Towns is good against Turner. So it would make sense that against a team like that, starting Deuce over Josh Hart makes a lot of sense. And then what you would do is you would take Brunson out with Mikal, throw in Josh Hart, throw in Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, the spacing goes away, but the defense still stays very, very good. And then you work that lineup. You have Mikal be your creator with Karl-Anthony Towns out there. And then you could work with putting Jalen Brunson in when Towns and Mikal are out. So when your second and third options are gone, you have your first option back. It would just make a lot of sense if you ask me. But I do want to know what you guys think down below. So let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you guys have any video requests, suggestions, anything like that, I'm happy to make videos that you guys want to see be made. It makes my life easier, and it also makes me know that you guys are enjoying this content. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Go Knicks.